Hello everyone, this is Mr. Singh again from Singh Learning. So this time we are doing lesson on exponential, how to write exponential function in the form of f of x equals a b to the power x, where b is a rational number described arising from mathematical real world problem, and we are talking about growth and decay. So if you look at these, this question is easy. Question one has A, B, C, D, four answer choices. The table is given on the right. So the best thing you can do is you can click on the plus sign and create a table the way it is. 1, 2, enter 3, enter 4, and then type your values: 48, 72, 108, 162, and then just by looking at its exponential function and by the equation we see it's a growth. So growth means this growth rate has to be greater than 1. So this is less than 1. How do you know? The numerator is less than denominator. This is less than 1, less than 1, greater than 1, less than 1. So only answer choice we have is C. Well, let's try that. So I'm going to type g of x equals, but if you don't know that, if you cannot eliminate based on the growth factor and looking at the initial value, then I will try each one of them. Okay, so see that those dots, that equation goes exactly through the dot, so that equation is for this table. If I change this to 2/3, you notice that it's a decay function and it's not going through it. So basic idea for you to learn is actually how this exponential function is written. But if you can't, then you can compare the table with equations. So that's easy way out to do this problem. So anytime you see a question like that, you can try write this question number 10. Same thing, you type those in the table, type your equations, you should be able to tell. Try question number 11. I'm leaving those questions in the video, so when you try on your Desmos, then, and same thing number 12. Same thing in 13. Okay, so next question on for this section that you need to know is how to write an exponential function. So question number 2 is basically saying there are 500 employees. So that's the initial value, which is a value from the function is initial value. B is your growth or decay rate. So you use your 500 initial value. So I will start with the y equals, it says equation. So write an equation, exponential function to the model, and the y equals, so we start with 500, and then it says number of employees expected to grow at the rate of 2%. Now, if you don't know how to change 2%, you can type 2% in the computer, or 2 divided by 100, it gives you 2%. So 2% is a growth. Whenever the question is of growth of 2%, you always add to 100 that growth. So it is 1.02. So 2% plus 100 is 102, and 102 is written in decimal form, 1.02. You see that? 102 is written as 1.02. And then you type the power x, and you see it's a growth. So you cannot get this question wrong. You just have to know initial value plus the rate. Now the question 3 says they are expected to decrease by 20%. So same thing, we did 100 and 100 percent plus 2% give us 102, and we converted into a decimal. For decay, you will do 100 minus 20% give you 80, and then you change 80% to decimal, which is 0.8. So now your equation will be y equals, so initial value is still 300, since it's a decay, is 0.8 close parenthesis square to the power x. So that's a decay. So this is a decay function. So easy way to remember, if it's 0 in the front, is a decay, but the percentage you have to subtract from 100 to figure out the real growth rate. Question can also look at number 4. It says initial value is 4,800, right? So, and then it says in the population of town, grow at this rate. It's growing, right? So to find a growth rate, there's another way that you can do new value minus divide by the initial value, New value, which is 50,400 divided by 48,000, 50,400 divided by 48,000, right? So which is your growth rate, 1.05, but it's already given you in this format. So 48,000 is initial value, so your only answer is A or D, and A is the only one which is dividing this year with the initial year. So that gives you your rate, and then you can answer. So answer is A. So keep that in mind, keep looking for this. Now let's use the same knowledge we use on number 2 and 3. Student participation was 317. So 317, since it's an exponential function, how do we know that participation is growing by 4%? So either answer is I or answer is K. As I told you, it's a growth, so it has to be 1.04. 4% is 100 plus 4. And then you convert 104 you out of 100, which is a percent. So 1.04. So your answer is K. So initial value is 317. And another thing to remember, growth is 1. 1 is a growth, 4% is the percentage increase. So you know that 1.04 is the growth function. So your answer is K. If you look at number 7, it says model use student participation after X years decreasing by 4%. So remember, when it comes to decrease, you will subtract 4 from 100 because of the decay or decrease function, and then you divide by 100 to get a percentage. So 0.96. We know exponential function has to have an x as an exponent, so answer M, N, and O are possible. P is a linear. This is mx plus b function, so it's not P. It's either one of them, so 0.96 is your N. So N is your answer. All right, so keep working. We'll try number 8. That's a growth. Leaking, that's a leaking. That's a decay. Adding, that's a growth. So keep trying those questions. 8 and 9, I can leave it here for a minute, for a second, so you can see it. Stop your video. Then you can also try number 15. Then you try number 17. So try these different questions. Will help you with your EOC exam. I hope you guys learn from this video, and we'll see you next video.